Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's April 9th, 2020. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you're well. Alright, so before we get into anything here, I'm going to tell you about something that I find to be very odd. So, you know about the travel passes. If you don't know, I'll briefly explain what these things are. You get these passes from your employer saying that you work at place X and you are considered essential. Allow this person to pass. Right? Well, they've given both my wife and my ex new passes. And the one given to my ex came in a packet form. And in a couple of these pages in this packet, it basically says that these places are not supposed to be selling anything but essential items. Yeah. And then they list what essential items are. They list it. So this sparks a conversation with my wife regarding one of her coworkers, Megan. Well, she went to Target a couple days ago. And when she got there, it took 2 hours to get inside because they're only allowing so many people in the store at one time. And then when she got into the store, the only things she had access to are what they consider essential items. Yeah. Now, who the fuck made these people the bosses over what is essential and non-essential? What right do they fucking have to tell us what we may and may not buy in a store? We're not talking about buying guns or drugs off the black market, although it's probably easier to do both of those things right now than it is to buy a pair of fucking jeans or some shoes, which are both essential items. What if a person's house burns down and they have nothing except for what's on them? Wouldn't you say that clothing, underwear, socks, these things are essential to that person? But because these control freaks decide what is essential for you, and your family, you're being denied access to anything but food, medication, and cleaning supplies. They are blocking the ability to purchase seeds in some places. And I imagine that this is going to be more widespread as the days pass by. Seeds. So, tell me, dear subscribers, what is it? Why would Target block people from being able to purchase other things from their stores? I mean, aren't they in the business of selling goods? Now, I'm a little bit pissed off about this because now I don't have the ability, possibly, I'm going to go try, and not at Target, and to buy surveillance cameras. And because some weird shit has been going on around my place at night. Very weird shit. We have this giant boulder. Well, not giant, but it's a big ass rock. And I tried picking it up, and it's pretty fucking heavy. Okay? Pretty heavy. And somehow, this boulder keeps getting further and further away from where it originally was. I don't know. And then I come home, my chickens are out of their coop, running around. Somebody opened the door or something. Now, it's been several times that we've gone out to check the eggs. And one day there'll be 3 eggs. The same eggs, okay? These are the same eggs. At least 3 of them. Alright? Because we're trying to let nature take its course and have the hen do the hatching, so we don't have to interfere with the how nature works. All right. So we have 3 eggs in there that are for hatching, but there's a 4th egg, right? There's a 4th egg out there right now, but later on, when I go out there, there will be 3 eggs. And I know 1 egg is not that big of a deal, but the point is, where's it going? The chickens can't pick them up. So where are they going? Who's moving the boulder? And who the fuck took the screen off of my daughter's window last night? And luckily, they can't open the window itself because it only goes open about 6 inches. So now, I can't, theoretically anyway, I can't go and buy cameras to set up to find out what the fuck is going on. Because a bunch of control freaks in Washington and the state capitol and these other agencies are determining what is essential and blocking anything, or trying to block everything that is not on their list of essentials. Are they trying to get riots started? This is what it seems like to me. They're doing everything they possibly can to get shit started. Is it me? Is it me? I don't think it is. I don't think it is me. So let's go up here to this headline. Oh, we're already there. While the masses panicked over virus, U.S. House wrote a bill that will ban assault weapons. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. They can't be having people being able to defend themselves while they are simultaneously trying to get riots and other actions started. And by the way, Google is doing whatever it can to demonetize SHTF plan, and they have demonetized me from the very start. Okay? From the very start. So if you can help either of us out, please do so. Okay. Oh, my fucking chihuahua. Okay, so while the majority of the country has been laser focused on the coronavirus, stocking up on decades worth of toilet paper and mass purchasing of Clorox wipes, the United States House of Representatives wrote a bill that will ban assault weapons. What a surprise, right? Representative Hank Johnson, a Georgia Democrat who sits on the House Judiciary Committee, introduced H.R. 5717 on January 30th, which would, among other items, ban the purchasing and possession of assault weapons, according to USA Today. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, Massachusetts, introduced in February the Senate version of the bill, S.3254. Not long after coronavirus hype was all over mainstream media, bearing the news of this draconian legislation. So, while they are blocking what they consider non-essential purchases, creating an extreme amount of hostility among the public, they are moving to ban your ability to help yourself, to defend yourself in a efficient, logical manner. So, I think I covered this a little bit yesterday. Matter of fact, I did 2 videos yesterday. And I ended up deleting one, and I think it was probably the video I deleted. I covered this in, but the legislation introduced a variety of reforms with the intent to end the epidemic of gun violence and build safer communities by strengthening federal firearms laws and supporting gun violence research, intervention, and prevention initiatives. Let me enlighten these morons, okay? And any moron that thinks removing the weapons from the hands of the public would be a good thing. First off, if you are still buying weapons out of a store, you're asking for problems, okay? You're asking for problems that you don't want. Secondly, criminals already have the weapons. We do not participate in background checks. We do as we wish. I say we because, I've been smacked with the label of criminal. So there's that. It seems that old Paul Craig Roberts is about sick of all this shit, too. So, he says we are hearing from many that the world after COVID-19 will be different. The question is, different in what way? Will it be better or will it be worse? And of course, we have the likes of Bill Gates and the Senate, Congress, the President, his fucking team of swamp creatures working overtime to make it worse. At least worse for us. Do you really think these businesses are going to come back? They can throw all the fucking money at them they wish, but a very, very large percentage of these businesses were already on the verge of collapse, and they've just been pushed over the fucking cliff. So the elites are working to make it better for them and worse for the rest of us. About that, the evidence is clear. The big boys are being bailed out and their debts covered. Isn't that nice? Everyone else, except for those already marginalized and without recent work record and fixed address, got a month's rent and extended unemployment benefits. Oh, thank you, slave masters. Thank you for our crumbs while you get trillions of dollars. Thank you. Fuck you, government, and fuck you, police, and fuck you, any of you people that support these motherfuckers. Big Pharma sees massive profits in the virus. Government sees more power to control. But the disparity in economic benefits is only part of it. Powerful vested interests, such as Bill Gates and Big Pharma, are determined to vaccinate us all. And look, this isn't me, some 2-bit conspiracy theorist coming up with this shit. This is a person with a high level of credibility. You can argue, well, you're a stoner, so what the fuck do you know? You can't make that argument with this dude. All right? Just let's be clear about that. Most of what I say is backed up by somebody like Paul Craig Roberts or their publications and government documents and words right from the mouths of some of these fucking people. So they're determined to vaccinate us all and to control our movements with an internal passport called Vaccinated Health Clear, or in other words, to that effect. You know, what Bill Gates keeps on saying he wants to see happen. New tracking procedures and technologies are to be put in operation reminiscent of the mark of the beast to police the access of various categories of people to various areas and benefits. Now, any expert worth a shit, they're going to point out we cannot vaccinate against the common cold, except for maybe the past year's version. Okay, we cannot be vaccinated against COVID-19 and other mutating viruses. But those experts are already being shut down. No expert opinion is going to be permitted to stand in the way of vaccination profits. So, again, what gives these people the fucking right? You do not have consent from me. You do not have consent on behalf of my children. You do not have consent to do this to us. Nutrition, vitamin advocates, they will not be permitted and to stand in the way. Bill Sardi predicts that orchestrated scares generated by mandatory recalls of toxic vitamins. And you know what this is all about is Codex Alimentarius. This is a United Nations policy to deny people the ability to have effective nutrition. Look it up. Look up Codex Alimentarius and don't fucking ask me how to spell it. The search engine will help you with that. Now, the vaccination has been elevated above a cure, as Big Pharma and its shills, such as CNN, shout down the positive experience doctors report of successful treatments of hydroxychloroquine and other drugs, and the effectiveness of vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc in strengthening the ability of immune systems to fight the virus. No, they want you vaccinated. They want you microchipped. They want you either dead or disarmed, weak, and complacent, compliant, all those things. That's what they want you to be. The permanent government and its security agencies see in the population's fear and confusion opportunities to put in place more tyrannical measures, more set asides of constitutional rights, more impairments on free speech. The ability of freedom to resist oppression is ever diminished. Remember David Crowley. Remember that trailer. This is what you should be expecting. Various descriptions of the expected dystopia are offered on the internet. But it does not have to turn out this way. Just like we didn't have to import these fucking cases from China. It was intentional. All of it. Do you understand? It was intentional. And my earlier videos reflect this. Again, it's not me saying this, alright? It's people in a better position than me saying it. I'm just delivering the message. The failure of leadership is an opportunity for real change. And it is. It is a great opportunity to really change things. And not for the worse like these assholes want. We need more freedom. Freedom cures most things. CNN, New York Times, and the rest of controlled media tell us every day that President Trump represents the failure of leadership. And this is true. It is. It's true. However, this failure in leadership goes far beyond Donald Trump. It's at every level of the government. They have failed for decades upon decades upon decades, and you morons keep on voting for them. You keep on giving them consent to do with us what they wish. So, the failure of leadership resides in the long-term failure of leadership that made Western societies vulnerable by moving high productivity, high-value jobs offshore in order to raise corporate profits at the expense of domestic consumer incomes. It means the movement offshore of the ability to produce medicines, N95 masks, and other needed resources for national survival. Again, this was all intentional. However, you look at it, globalism is a death sentence. Its only advantage is to the rich, and the advantage comes to them in the form of cheap labor that swells their profits while it shrinks what's in our own pockets, reducing the purchasing power of people like you and me. So, we have a chance. We have a chance to build on this failure in leadership. We have a chance. We do. All right, let's see some of these headlines here. Japan and Russia report worrisome surge in new cases. Italian Prime Minister warns EU could fail over outbreak. Bill Gates crosses the digital Rubicon, says mass gatherings may not return without global vaccine. How are they going to create a vaccine for a mutating virus? How? None of these people are smart enough. But they sure are smart enough to fuck us real hard. I'll tell you that. And you have took it and taken it and taken it and taken it. Your grandparents, your parents, your great-grandparents, they have all failed you. Look at where we're at. Look at who's in control. People like this motherfucker that has pedophile written all over him. I mean, he is the archetype of pedophile. The creepy glasses, just the overall creepiness. He could be a poster boy for pedophilia. Seriously. When plagues pass, slower growth, social unrest, and labor gets the upper hand. And that's what I'm talking about. We will have the upper hand, people, and all we got to do is seize the opportunity. Yeah, my computer's been under constant attack from somewhere since for the last 3 months, actually. Every day I get warnings about some kind of malware being put onto my computer. And look, I don't download anything. So where's it coming from? France developing surveillance app called Stop COVID to mitigate the virus spread. Just how bad is it going to get? JP Morgan halts all non-government guaranteed small business loans. And I'm going to get into this one. Go ahead and open it now. And this one. Public fears over FIVEG/virus conspiracy theories shouldn't be underestimated. All right. Container lines face profound threat as COVID-19 sparks unprecedented surge of blank sailings. There's no going back, Bob. France's lone aircraft carrier cuts mission short due to 40 likely COVID-19 cases. And here's one of those, right here. Remember I talked about this yesterday? Himalayas visible for first time in 30 years as India lockdown sparks stunning drop in pollution. They will be using this to keep things locked down. This is about the big changeover. This is about Agenda 21, Agenda 2030. This is about killing you. Russia accuses Trump of trying to conquer the galaxy. We can't even fucking conquer the planet fully, and Trump sending, I'm not even going to get into it. Expect at least another 6.5 million in jobless claims. Americans not making their mortgage payments soar by 1,064% in 1 month, and the rent is similar. All right. When plagues pass, when plagues pass, slower growth, social unrest, and labor gets the upper hand. Now, they're going to talk about how when the Black Death happened in Europe, the laborers, or the lowly peasants, got the upper hand. They demanded more money because, guess what? There's no one else to do the fucking work. But this time, they're not going to allow that to happen. You know why? You know how? Well, a why is obvious, but the how? They're going to use robots. These robots are being rolled out. Okay? They're starting to use them. But I'm going to, as Black Death went through Europe in 1348 and 1349, workers across the continent discovered that they had power for the first time in their lives. And this is going, it will be the case for us, but not for the same reasons, not for our labor. But they ended up getting tripled their pay in a lot of cases. Pandemics, we discover, have shaped civilization, and there are even arguments that they have ushered in positive changes. The Black Death, which came as the Catholic Church was riven by a papal schism, in it, the Black Death may have been the unrecognized beginning of modern man. Even if the Renaissance, Reformation, and Enlightenment were all centuries in the future. One of the clearest lessons: labor gains power at the expense of capital. No other pandemic has had so great an impact, and neither will this one. All right. Yeah, I'm only going to hit the first 2 paragraphs of this because I got something else that's going to link right into this 5G here. And you want to stick around because what I'm going to say is very interesting, and I think you'll enjoy what I say here. A conspiracy theory linking 5G to the coronavirus has spread like wildfire. In fact, so many people believe this theory that over the weekend numerous 5G based transmission systems were burned down in Britain amid claims aired on social media that the technology contributes to the spread of COVID-19. There are now floods of posts on Facebook claiming the coronavirus outbreak was caused by 5G, the 5th generation of mobile internet. Many of these claims center on the idea that the virus originated in Wuhan because the Chinese city had deployed 5G networks last year. The attention that these discussions are getting and the actions they are enabling over the health worries are, according to Jefferies analysts, a cause for concern as they lead to a possible drag on its roll out in democratic countries. So, I thought I would tell you something else that I found pretty interesting while riding around out there. There's an awful lot of charter trucks. Awful lot. I wonder what they're doing. Could it be that they're out there busy installing these antennae? Could it be? Why is this important? Well, I'm going to explain this here. All right, so the human soul. Our soul is infinite. We are as ageless as time itself. We have existed forever. Okay? And at some point, and really don't know why, instead of embracing what we are, which we are light beings, that's what we are. These things here are nothing but avatars. That's it. What's this have to do with what I was just talking about? I'm getting to that. Okay? So you could think of your body here as a storage unit for the soul. Sort of like those robots on the Matrix. They get in there and they can manipulate the arms, the legs, they could fire, all that. So your whole body is the storage, and then your brain is the processor. Did you know that it would take a room full of computers the size of a football field to hold the information in our DNA? Nothing compared to the human brain. Not a supercomputer, nothing. Maybe AI later on. Okay? Nothing less than our brain and our, what do you call your electrical system, neurological system. Nothing short of these are able to house the soul. Now, without the brain, the neurological system, all of it, without that, we would be light. We would be energy. So, for us to operate effectively in this particular dimension, we have to have bodies. This is why we refer to them as our bodies, because they're not really us. Okay? So, 5G. Why the push for 5G? It is because the AI and Internet of Things cannot function without it. It's kind of like our body's ability to transfer information from, say, the outside into our brains and then process it. Sound, sight, touch, and beyond that. So they are taking, in part anyway, again, they have many different plans running in parallel together, all leading to the same end. They are in the process of deindustrializing the entire planet, China included. And they are in the process of denying the people the goods that were produced in this industrialization. And you're going to see things that you never imagined were possible. And this is happening right now, using a pandemic as the justification in their actions. Last century, 20th century, governments killed around 260 million of their own citizens, not including wars. This didn't include people dying in wars. It included, and this was just government death. I think we're going to find out in very short order that this century is going to dwarf that if we don't do something about this immediately. If you think I'm wrong, tell me why you think I'm wrong. I hope everyone has a great day, and until next time, kill the state.